Hi, today teardown of these things. So we have 2 times of the same. Here they are precision Soviet potentiometers and actually extremely complicated ones. So you can see it is a duplicate. I will zoom on the label for this one. So type is a whole bunch of digits. 40 kilo ohms, 5 watt. Here is the pinout with there is a middle point, a tap in the winding. It is a wire wound potentiometer. We have written in Cyrillic made in USSR. This one is serial number 728 and this one is 747. So they must come from some precision equipment, but I got them like so, already taken apart in grab bags of parts. So I do not know where they came from. They can come from aircraft equipment, they can come from scientific equipment, military radios even, military equipment, not sure. So you cannot. Already we see a number of screws. We have 2 screws here. We have 3 screws to hold the cover in place. And here we have the series of red holes. In fact, holes covered with red paint, and there must be some screw behind. And here you can see a series of quality control stamp, OTK stamp, military approval here, a date code here of May 1968, some handwritten stuff here. Okay, so I will pop the cover off. And yes, there is a little window here allowing to see the position of the cursor, and it is a handless potentiometer. You can turn as many as you want. There is no stop at the back of the track. So what do we have inside? In fact, it must be the potentiometer I have ever seen with the biggest number of screws in it. Well, I have other handless potentiometers. I made videos about them, but this one are quite amazing. So cover is just stamped aluminium. So here we can see the construction. We have a clamp keeping the parts in place. Here is the actual potentiometer, wire wound potentiometer piece. Here is the big dial. Here is the cursor. And we still do not see what we have behind this. So I need to undo the dial. Hopefully it will not be too difficult. Just a little bit of paint over the screws slots, but of course normally you do not want to disturb the dial. So what do we have? We have this piece is just aluminum ring, and here is the very complicated mechanism. So as you can see, all at the bottom here we have a little wheel made with a ball bearing that is rolling onto this round piece, which is some kind of a track for it. And it looks like each one of the screws here will allow to adjust up and down the track piece at one section of the track piece. So I believe the whole purpose of this is to precisely adjust the pressure over the cursor in order to have a regular pressure on the winding all the way around. I believe it is the goal of the thing, so because the little variations of pressure may induce little variations of the resistance, and if it is really a precision piece, you probably want to avoid this, and you can fine-tune your potentiometer, in fact, in a number of locations. How many do we have? We have 12 locations you can adjust precisely, and here you can see little brass pieces, the contact ring here, rotary contact, with one more piece, but this one is actually spring loaded and is making contact pretty firmly against the contact ring. And so here we have the wire wound resistor by itself, which is clamped in place with this big metal clamp. So I am not sure what will happen if I undo it. So surely enough it is coming off, but not completely because the wires here are in the way. But it should allow us to, there is some insulator material here, and here we have a better look at the wire wound resistor. So to remove it completely, it should involve undoing this plate and unsoldering wires probably. You can see there is a secondary piece here at the bottom making insulation probably between the wire wound resistor piece and the aluminium, the base of the base plate of the device. Okay, and very typical Soviet wire here. This is some kind of bakelite material, and really probably the most complicated potentiometer I have ever seen, and I do not remember where this part came from. I believe it was here. Yes, like so. So quite interesting stuff. You can see more of them on the website 115la3.ru. I will link it in the video description, and if I find the correct web page for potentiometers of this kind, I will link directly to the page. And in fact you can find a lot of different models, but most of them are very complicated and very high precision for probably for coding, encoding precisely mechanical stuff you want to keep track of. So I will just try to reinstall this screw. Okay, and one thing I can do maybe is to try to measure it with my component tester and see if the resistance is spot on 40 kilo ohms. So it is between pins 1 and 2. So we have little numbers on here. So it is 40.95 kilo ohms, and we can try not with this because in fact this device will not read continuously. Bad contact maybe. It looks like this thing is a fail and we do not have any contact. Maybe there is a broken wire somewhere. Interesting. Well, they are pretty old, so no wonder. Oh, now it is working. Yes, it looks like if I press here, it is in fact working pretty randomly, or it is just my component tester which is bad. So let me grab another multimeter and maybe alligator clips, crocodile, or whatever you want to call them. And maybe we can try again. And up, this time it would be, in fact there is quite a lot of paint also on this terminal here, so maybe it is not helping very much. So if I turn it, you can see there are some positions where it will not work. And it is not, yes, it is a matter of pressing on the, so, and I believe it is just this screw I did disturb. So maybe if I readjust this screw, the other direction, no. So quite a old thing apparently. Oh, I see. It is this insulator ring which is not in correct position. So it is entirely my fault. Sorry. It is pushed too far, and in fact it will prevent the cursor to not push far enough, however, and it will prevent the cursor to make good contact. So yes, it is a quite delicate setup. You need the proper tongue angle when assembling them. And here I have also an issue with this back piece at the bottom. Like so, it must be good. Not the easiest thing to work on. Okay, so let me clamp this down, try to at least, and now it should be working all the way around. Yes, as you can see in this point, in fact there is this piece is a little bit curved and it will lift a little bit the cursor intentionally this time, and you start at the other end of the track. The minimum resistance you can have is somewhere around 500 ohms already. So quite impressive little device, in particular with the amount of parts you have inside. Just in this middle thing here, it is quite amazing. You have one brass ring here, you have several pieces in bakelite and a contact ring here. This must all be either brass or copper. This is brass. Quite amazing. Okay, so thanks for watching. Bye bye.